Alright, I was asked to do the 5 hardest things of nursing school. 5 hardest things of going to school to be a nurse. Number 1, I'm going to call it age. And this is kind of related to me only, or maybe not me only. I was 28 years old when I started nursing school 4 years ago. So age was kind of a factor. I'd been out of school for 10 years. So getting back into it was hard for me. Like I said, I had some college. I think I was 21 for 7 years. There was no school in this brain. So it was definitely the age part that was really hard for me. Maybe not age, but maybe learning how to study, relearning how to study. Because like I said, I was 28 when I started. So the age was number 5, not number 1. Number 5. Number 4 hardest part of nursing school, clinical. It's time to go to clinical. You know you're going to clinical. If you're from the 80s, you know that one. It's actually physical, but time to go to clinical. Actually going to clinical. We'll get into more about that here in just a second. It was pretty hard to play nurse, with next to no training. All of a sudden they're like, here, you're at clinical. Do all of these skills that you've done in the classroom and nowhere else. Yay! So that was a little bit overwhelming. Especially, for the people that hadn't been CNAs before. I had luckily been a CNA for like 6 years. So I kind of knew what to expect. So definitely clinical. It was hard for me. I know it's probably harder for others, especially those who never really had a job in the medical field. But as I've said before, CNAs, you're already prepared for that. You're already ready for that. You've kind of seen and done, what you got to do in clinical. So number 4 is clinical. Number 3, clinical prep. Clinical prep, in my opinion, is harder than clinical. Clinical prep, you have to learn, well, in my case, you have to learn all of your medications that you're giving. Not just the names of the medications. Oh, no. The generic and the pharmaceutical names, onsets, durations, why you're giving them, and side effects. Side effects was a biggie. If you didn't have 3 big side effects, they would actually send you home from my nursing school. They didn't play. If you didn't know 3 big side effects, you got sent out the door. Or if there were big, side effects that were, detrimental to health, so like Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which will kill you quickly, if you didn't know that, you got sent out the door. I mean, you just did. There was, they didn't play. And, that was pretty hard. That leads me into my next one, number 3, and I'm calling it number 3 simply because it's the 3 rule in my nursing school, and I've heard from others about their nursing school, is they had the rule of 3s. You fail 3 tests, you miss 3 days, or you get kicked out of 3 clinicals, you are out of the program. And I'm not playing with you. That's how it was. They were that serious. If you failed 3 tests, or if you missed 3 unexcused days, or if you got kicked out of 3 clinicals, and it could be for not knowing your side effects, you were out of the program. Do not pass go straight out. Well, you don't go to jail, but, leave this program. You're out. So, that was definitely a biggie. As I've said before, I failed my very, very first nursing school test. I failed that thing. I did. I failed it. So that was my first one, and I failed it. I think we had 12 that semester. So that means you can only, if you didn't pass 9 of them, deuces, see you later. You're out of here. So the rule of 3 was definitely hard. Number 2, number 2 is the nursing school test themselves. The nursing school test. If you've never been to nursing school, it's hard to explain to you how the tests are written. Every single answer is correct. So I don't know if you can see the sky right now. It's kind of gloomy, but there is patches of blue. I'm telling you this for an example. This is an example of a nursing school style question. The question may read, you are outside. What does the sky look like? Blue, cloudy, gray, cloudy, or overcast? Well, all of these answers are correct. Which one is the most correct? Now that is just a super simple example of a nursing school test, and to be honest, you don't know which one the instructor really wants you to have. It's you don't know. Like, even giving you that question, I don't know which one I would take. It's hard to explain to you how a nursing school test is tested. They are tested in a way to make you critically think. Critically think. Critically thinking is the key in nursing school. You have to critically think about everything. So I'd probably say overcast right now. But if you say blue, you're right. If you say cloudy, you're right. If you say gray, cloudy, you're right. Anyways, back to number one. And once again, this is my partake of the 5 hardest things of nursing school. It is case studies on disease processes. Some of them I was very good at, say diabetes. I worked on a diabetic unit as a CNA, and diabetes came very easy to me. What was the really hard one? Myasthenia gravis did not come very easy to me. I remember doing that as a disease process. I remember doing small cell lung cancer as a disease process. I remember trying to think of some more that I did. I want to say I did gout one time. I mean, they're so hard to do these disease processes, because not only do you need to know the disease, you have to know, like, how old you are typically when you get it. Are you male? Are you female? Every single thing that you need to know about this disease process, you have to know. And in my case, in my school, you had to know it, like, without your sheet in front of you. Like, you didn't, it was almost like an oral presentation every single time. I mean, it was hard. It was very difficult. It was not easy for me. So that's my 5 hardest things of nursing school. That's it for me. Maybe yours are different. I don't know. Let me know. Let's see what you come up with. That's the 5 hardest things that I did in nursing school, or that I remember of nursing school. Hope it helps. Thank you much.